I want you to cry into your Hello Kitty pillow. I want you to put your headphones on. I want you to listen to some Taylor Swift. And I want you to shake it off, you bland bitch.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Section Ninja, in the place to be for our Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about Monday Night Raw, or as they would say in the acronyms, the Raw after WrestleMania, April 20th, 2026 in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. Graves and Cole on commentary. Whew. We started off loud. We started off proud. Oba Femi starts the show. I'm like, what does Oba have to say after retiring? Well, he didn't retire, Brock. Well, maybe he did. I'm like, what does Oba have to say? You know, he had that great promo last week where he says, I'm the one. Then he spoke on the after show that I told y'all what I was going to do because I am the one. Oba comes out looking great. Everyone's dancing with Oba. We're singing, Oba, Oba. He grabs the mic and he says, your ruler has arrived. Mic drop. He's letting y'all know. The fact, too, that he called out Roman and Roman called out Oba. Oh, my gosh. I don't think I spoke on that with the WrestleMania review. But I really want to see what was going to happen here tonight. But Oba Femi says, your ruler has arrived. Tribal Chief, everybody in that locker room, you're on notice. Oba Femi is here. That's the way we start the show. We get a Kabuki Warriors promo because we're going to get Io and Rhea versus Kabuki Warriors. As much as I enjoyed this match, I am done. I am tired of this. I am ready. Let Rhea go to SmackDown. Let Io hold it down on Raw. But no more Kabuki Warriors versus Io Rhea or Io versus Kairi or Io versus Asuka. Just no more. Let's move on. Let's move along. We don't have to have this anymore. It's after WrestleMania. We can move on. It's okay. So, Io and Rhea have an awesome match because we've seen it hundreds of times. And you know these two teams can deliver. So, Io and Rhea get the win over the Kabuki Warriors. We go backstage with Adam. He's with Penta. Then here's Javon. You know, Javon's like, you know what? I'm going to get my shot again. Penta's like, I'm right here, man. I'm right here. And guess who's on Monday Night Raw? Ethan Page. He's officially on the main roster. We got NXT Revenge tomorrow. But Ethan Page has been called up. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. About time to get some ego into this place. Does that mean Ricky Saints is not too far behind either? Then we go in next. CM Punk, after one of the best WrestleMania's main events in so long. One of the best matches. Oh my gosh. Holding it down. Punk comes out. You know, Vegas is the best in the world. He's out there and he tells us, he's like, yeah, I've been suffering a lot of loss. And he's going through the list of people he lost in his life. He goes, I know. And I lost my title. But that's okay. I wasn't meant to be the world champion. Kind of just fell out of the sky. But I took that ball. You know, I could have gone home. I could have just ate donuts. And, you know, I don't think he said donuts. But I could have just done this and not be ready. But I was ready. And then when Seth got hurt, became number one contender, you know, I became the world champion. He goes, I could have just let it go after I became world champion for like 3 seconds. Nice cherry on top. Because no, but I was always ready. And with what transpired, you know, and I like too when he thanked the crew, the people who put, the backbone of WWE is the crew that puts on the show. Putting the ring together, the announce tables, cameras, trucks, you know, every catering, everybody. Punk showed love and everyone got up and applauded. Thank you, Punk. He's going on, and he says, I will wait until that opportunity happens again, and he will take a shot at it. And he says, basically never say never. Then here comes Cody. Whoa! Looking mopey. He comes out there, but man, I'll be mopey too. You saw his eye. Holy shit. When he gets to the ring, CM Punk's like, ooh, ooh. And Cody's like, yeah, I feel like a loser tonight. And then I like what Punk says, like, so you're saying that I should feel like a loser? He's like, no. And someone's like, oh, and Punk's like, knock it off. I'll knock your phone out of your hand too. We're friends. He didn't say that, but if you heard, you heard. Guys, don't be creepy and shoot. These are people too. Okay? Of course someone's going to slap the phone out of your hand if you're being weird. But Cody gets a little pep in his step, and Punk says, hey, man, I'm the best in the world. I did it. That's why I'm walking around here. I ain't sad. So Cody, and as soon as he looked down, he goes, and then he said, soon as the opportunity falls from the sky. Because there was rumor that Cody's eye is a lot more damaged, and it might require him dropping the title. So we shall see by Friday. That's why I thought we would hear from Cody. But no, I thought this was where Cody's going to be like, yeah, well, the opportunity's falling from the sky. Nothing like that was said. But Punk gets out of the ring, and Cody grabs the mic. He goes, just say when. And I was like, oh, that is the biggest tease. Oh, my gosh, that is awesome. Just say when. Cody versus Punk. Let's go. Let's go. We get a Balor promo because he's going to face JD tonight. The Demon took out Dom at WrestleMania. Now it's time for Mr. Balor to go down and take down the rest of the Judgment Day. And that backstage altercation between Ethan and Javon, it sets up our next match. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. Hell yeah. Ooh, this was a fun match. And Rusev came out. Then after he, causing enough of a distraction for Javon, Ethan Page took advantage, got the 1, 2, 3. Rusev attacks after. Ethan's like, go for it, buddy. And then Penta comes out. And then Ethan takes out Penta. And Ethan's like to Rusev, like, hey, there we go. And Rusev it just beats up Penta some more. And I'm sending a message. He's sending a message, and he holds that Intercontinental Championship. And I was like, oof. Penta Rusev, Penta Javon, Javon Rusev, Javon Penta. Ethan in the mix too. Let's go. Let's go. Then we have Liv Morgan celebrating with the Judgment Day. After dropping a banger song, after having a great performance at WrestleMania, not just in the ring, but on stage. Her entrance to the match. This is Liv Morgan's time. She's the best. She says the best world champion in the world, the best women's champion, the best in general. And as she's saying these things, my girl Sol Ruka is finally on the main roster. Even though she's facing Zarya at Revenge in the last women's standing match, I'm just like, Sol? Oh my gosh. And then here comes Adam and brings out Jessica Carr. And we have a match, Sol versus Liv Morgan. I'm like, let's go right now. Oh my gosh. Woo! It's my match of the night as well. So much was going on here. Sol going after Liv, Liv after going after Sol, Sol showing what she can do, looking great while she's doing it. And the Soul Snatcher to Liv, I was like, oh my gosh, she gonna pin Liv? No, Liv was smart enough to roll out. And Sol went out there. Liv distracted the referee when she got back in the ring. And Zarya attacked Sol. Unfinished business before Sol can enjoy her main roster. Because Zarya is there. And they have their match at NXT Revenge this Tuesday. And then as everything's boiling down, Liv is with the Judgment Day. Here comes Stephanie Van Cure getting in Liv's face. So you know we're going to have a rematch at Backlash between these two. And I'm just like, yes, Then we get a Brock Lesnar package because he is officially retired from the WWE. And this is a really cool package in his Godsmack. I stand alone. Didn't they use that song for Scorpion King? Stand alone. Or was it in The Mummy Returns? I don't know. I know it's tied to Scorpion King. I think it was a Scorpion King. That was a good soundtrack. You remember when they made good soundtracks like that? One of my favorites was Daredevil. The Punisher, too, the Thomas Jane movie, had a great soundtrack. Shit, WWE used to have really great soundtracks. Remember the Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 4, Aggression, and all that good stuff? Yeah. Man, I miss those days. But yeah, really great package. Thank you, Brock. The next up, we have The Vision. Logan Paul and Mr. Austin Theory coming out with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, he cuts a great promo. He says, when it says in the starting, it says, then, now, forever. He goes, Brock is in now in the opening package. So screw you, Punk, for thanking all these people and thanking the people behind the cameras. They're all bums because they should take Brock out of the now and put him into forever because he is Brock Lesnar. Because it was a shock to all of us. Even Triple H mentioned he didn't expect Brock to hang it up there. No one did. It was a huge moment. And Paul got to show his love and respect on that mic one more time for Brock Lesnar. Then we get Logan Paul trying to talk. Then he says his stuff, because they're the World Tag Team Champions. Then Paul Heyman reintroduces us to somebody that came back and destroyed Seth. Braun Breaker, he's here. He wants to make Seth Rollins' life a living hell. He calls out Seth, and here comes Seth. I think he hit Braun hard enough to where he popped something in the back of his head because it was blood. And then after they're beating Rollins down, the Vision, Braun Breaker, they're beating him down. Guess what? The Street Profits are back, baby. Oh, yeah. Montez Ford has a kid on the way, so he's getting back to work. But no, I'm so happy the Street Profits, because I was like, all right, because people were chanting for the Usos. I was like, okay, I get it. No, the Street Profits are back, and they want tag team gold. Yes, boy. Oh, but Braun Breaker's the one that stood tall over Seth Rollins by spearing him not once, but twice. And that was funny. He was in a t-shirt and like sweats and tennis shoes. I'm like, never seen him, and I haven't seen him in a t-shirt in a long time, But Braun Breaker sent a message. We get a JD promo, and then we get Finn Balor versus JD McDonough. These two know each other so well, long history, all the way back to when JD first started wrestling and Finn had his school in Ireland. These two know each other. Put on one hell of a match right here. Back and forth battle between the two. But Finn Balor has a little bit more fire. And JD was hurt. So Finn Balor got the upper hand. Finn Balor did attack JD before the bell rang. Then as Finn Balor gets the win, here comes Dirty Dom. And Dom is about to get coup de grace, and he gets pulled out by JD. Finn Balor's not done with neither of them. Nana. Then we go to Jackie with Gunther. He says, I am not associated with Paul Heyman, but Paul Heyman owes me a favor. What's the favor? And I remember guessing that it was going to be Brock and Gunther at SummerSlam. The 2-night spectacular are going to retire Brock Lesnar. But I don't think Brock Lesnar wanted that. Because coming out of WrestleMania, he chose Oba. He says, that's the man I'm going to lose to. So, here comes LA. Starting up something with LA and Gunther because they both want championship opportunities. Then we go to Io. Rhea saying goodbye to Io. I'm like, okay, go be a champion on SmackDown, Rhea. Io, hold it down here. Get back to being a champion as well. My favorite part about this is Rhea's walking away from Io, sad. She walks by the current world champion Liv. The history between these two and just the level of like emotions between the two, and they're both champions. One for Raw, one for SmackDown, just like how Roman and Cody are champions at the same time. We're living in a crazy world, you know. Roman Reigns, he's here. He rolls up in his black SUV. Well, he doesn't drive. He doesn't need to drive. He gets out of that car. He's looking good. He's got the championship. It's his first World Heavyweight Championship. You know, he comes after main eventing his 11th WrestleMania. Roman Reigns walks out tall and strong. And there's the Usos looking good, black and white. Roman had black and white on as well. And Roman Reigns, as his music hits, he looks at the Usos and says, come on. I'm like, we getting the bloodline back together? Oh, shit. I got a big old smiley face on here, man. I had smiling ear to ear. Roman comes out, Usos are there, and he tells them, like, hey, he puts his hand up as in the 5. Like, you know, this was us apart. You know, taking our lickings and this and that. He goes, and Jay, you got washed up 90 rappers talking about you, dog? And he's like, what? Yeah, nah. And he goes, come on, man. He goes, when we were like this, it just didn't work. I'm not asking you to serve me. I'm asking you to be with me as a family. And he tightened his fist. He goes, this is us. No one ran their mouth because they knew they would get their asses whooped. And I'm like, yes. And as Roman's saying this, I'm like, okay, we're going to end it on this note. You know, bloodlines back together. What's next? Backlash is coming up in May. You know, then we have SummerSlam in August. All this stuff and all this buildup. And I never expected this. I was waiting. I was like, I feel like someone's music's going to hit. Jacob Fatu. Holy shit, Jacob Fatu comes out. I'm like, oh my God, is he joining the bloodline? I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. You know, I don't think he wants to go back to that. He comes out and he's thinking, Roman's like, you know, are you out here to acknowledge me? And Jacob's like, hell no. And Roman's like, yeah, there's only a few reasons you would be out here. He goes, do you want this? And he goes, I'm going to tell you, Roman, I need that. I want those shoe deals. I want this. I want that. I want it all. I want a bigger house. I want more money. They send my kids to better schools. I want what you have, Roman. And that Backlash, I was like, whoa. The Tribal Chief versus the Samoan Werewolf? Yes, boy. And Roman tells him, well, look there. Look here. He goes, you know, up here it's thin air. He goes, yeah. And he goes, can you even hold the burden of this championship? What are you going to do if you win it? You know, can you handle it? I ain't going to give you an answer. It's neither yes or no. I really want you to think about this, little cousin. And we'll speak next week. And next week, they're in Loretto, Texas. And Roman and the Usos walk off. And he's telling him, he's like, you need to talk to him. And, of course, Big Jim's like, I'll talk to him. He's like, all right. But Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu at Backlash? Hell yeah. And that's the way we end the show. We started off with Oba Femi. And we ended with Roman, Jacob, and the Usos in this awesomeness. Match of the night is Soul versus Liv. Moments. There's moments. Punk, Cody, Oba. Freaking Ethan Page is now up here. Sol Ruka's up. They said that Joe Hendry is having a concert and he's going to be on Raw now too. And I was like, whoa. Street Profits are back. So much in this. The Raw after WrestleMania. I feel like they delivered. April 20th, 2026, Graves, Cole, and commentary in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. 6 out of 5. Let's go. Let's get the Backlash. And let's build. Oh, this was a good show. But yeah, match of the night, Soul versus Liv. That was awesome, man. All right, y'all. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, share with your grandma, share with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB the Sexy Ninja, and remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.